Namaste children. Hearty welcome to our mathematics class, class 10. In the last class we learned the polynomials chapter 2 and we discussed the standard form, what a polynomial is, what are the different types of polynomials, classification based on number of terms and degree. Now children, we are going to deal with the geometrical meaning of zeros of the polynomial. What do you mean by zero of a polynomial, children? Zero of a polynomial is a term which you have learnt in class 9. So zero means the value of the variable for which that entire polynomial becomes zero. That is known as zero of the polynomial. So here we are going to deal with the geometrical meaning. Geometrical meaning means we will be dealing all these types of polynomials with the help of graph. So let us take the first polynomial, that is our linear polynomial. In case of linear polynomial, children, you can see the standard form of a linear polynomial is ax plus b. That is the standard form of a linear polynomial. You can see the degree is 1. So the linear polynomial standard form is ax plus b. And children, when you plot the graph of this linear polynomial, you will definitely get a straight line. So what I am going to tell you here is the geometrical meaning of zeros means the x coordinates of the points. The x coordinates of the points which intersects the graph at x axis. The x coordinates of the points. Why? Because the polynomial is in terms of x. So you have to take only the x coordinates of the points of the graph which intersects the x axis, This is known as zeros when you find out using the graph. Okay. So here we are dealing with linear polynomial and the graph of a linear polynomial will always be a straight line. Ax plus b will always be a straight line. For example, y is equal to 2x plus 3 or p of x is equal to 2x plus 3. When you can see the graph, you will get a straight line. And children, after drawing this, you can easily find out that it meets the x-axis only at one point. From the figure, it is very clear for you. From the graph, you can check it out. This graph, this straight line will meet the x-axis only at one point. That means that clearly says that the linear polynomial is having only one zero. And of course, it is based on its degree. If the degree is 1, it has only 1 0. Both are interrelated. So I think it is clear for you. For a linear polynomial, the graph will be always a straight line and the number of zeros is only 1. Coming to the quadratic polynomial. Children, quadratic polynomial's graph is a U-shaped graph. The standard form of a quadratic polynomial, you have already learnt ax square plus bx plus c because the degree is 2 and it is in the descending order of the variables, powers, ax square plus bx plus c. So that is the standard form of a quadratic polynomial. Okay. Now, when you are dealing with quadratic polynomial, when you plot the points on the graph and when you join the points, you will definitely get a U-shaped graph. What is that U-shaped graph called? It is known as parabola. Now, since the degree is 2, it is very clear it will have a maximum of 2 zeros. But children, it is not necessary that it should definitely contain 2 zeros. It is not at all necessary. The 2 means maximum of 2 zeros. That means it can have 1, it can have none. That is the meaning. So at the most 2 zeros it can have. So for a quadratic polynomial, the maximum number of zeros is 2 because the degree is 2. You can easily find out by drawing the graph. You can see it meets the x-axis either at one point or at 2 points or none of the point. So it is clear that it consists of at most 2 zeros. That is the word at most. Maximum of 2 zeros it can have. So I think it is clear for a quadratic polynomial. Now coming to the case of cubic polynomial. What is the standard form of a cubic polynomial? Can you tell me? If the degree is 3 and if you have to rearrange it in the descending order of the powers, can you tell me the standard form? Yes. P of x is equal to ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. That is the standard form of a cubic polynomial. And in this polynomial, you can see the degree is 3, so it will have 3 zeros or at most 3 zeros. Yeah, now we have learned at most 2 zeros for quadratic polynomial. So here at most 3 zeros. And the graph will be a curve. Either it can meet the x-axis at 1 point, 2 point, 3 points or no point at all. So maximum it can go up to 3 points. That is why we are saying for a cubic polynomial the maximum number of zeros is 3. At the most 3 zeros. So I think geometrical meaning of zeros of a polynomial for the linear, quadratic, cubic is clear for you. Now we are going to learn the relationship between zeros and coefficients of a polynomial. Relationship between zeros and coefficients. Zeros for a linear polynomial only 1 zero. For a quadratic polynomial at the most 2 zeros. For a cubic polynomial at the most 3 zeros. So that is the zeros of a polynomial. Coming to the coefficients. For a linear polynomial the coefficient is a and constant term b. For a quadratic polynomial the coefficients are a, b and constant term c. For a cubic polynomial the coefficients are a, b, c and the constant term d. Okay. So we are going to learn the relationship between zeros and coefficients of all these types of polynomials. So I think it is clear up to here. Okay, coming to the linear polynomial, as I already told you, for a linear polynomial the standard form is ax plus b. So we'll equate it to 0. Ax plus b equal to 0 means ax is equal to minus b and x is equal to minus b by a. That is the standard form, or the number of zeros for a linear polynomial is only 1. That is x is equal to minus b by a is the only 0 for a linear polynomial. Okay. Now coming to the quadratic polynomial, we have learned the standard form is ax square plus bx plus c. And let us take the two zeros as alpha and beta. So the ax square plus bx plus c can be equated to k into x minus alpha and x minus beta, because they are the factors. If alpha and beta are the zeros, that means x minus alpha and x minus beta will be the factors. So when you equate the coefficients, you will get ax square plus bx plus c is equal to x square minus alpha plus beta into x plus alpha beta. Comparing the coefficients, we will get the sum of the zeros, that is alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a and alpha beta is equal to c by a. So this is the relationship between zeros and coefficients of a quadratic polynomial. That is sum of zeros alpha plus beta, product of zeros alpha beta. So alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a and alpha beta is equal to c by a. That is the relationship for a quadratic polynomial. Okay. Let us see an example. Let us check the quadratic polynomial x square minus 5x plus 6. When you see the sum is minus 5 and the product is 6. Okay. Now when you compare the coefficients, you will get alpha plus beta and minus b by a both are same. From the board it is very clear, alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a and alpha beta is equal to c by a. If you are able to factorize the quadratic polynomial using middle term splitting method, it will be very easy for you and you can verify the relationship between zeros and coefficients of a quadratic polynomial. So I think that part is clear for you. Coming to the cubic polynomial, here also there is a relation, that is ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d is the standard form of a cubic polynomial, and when we equate it to the 3 zeros, let us take the 3 zeros as alpha, beta and gamma. So we can equate it k into x minus alpha into x minus beta into x minus gamma. When you compare the coefficients, you will get three relationships. That is alpha plus beta plus gamma, that is the sum of the zeros, is equal to minus b by a. Second one, alpha beta plus beta gamma plus alpha gamma, which is equal to c by a. This is the sum of the product of zeros taken two at a time. And the third one is product of zeros, that is alpha beta gamma, which is equal to minus d by a. So alpha plus beta plus gamma is minus b by a, Alpha beta plus beta gamma plus alpha gamma is C by A, and the third one, alpha beta gamma, is minus D by A. This is the relationship of zeros and coefficients for a cubic polynomial. So I think all the relationships you have easily understood, and one more thing which I wanted to tell you is, if you are given alpha and beta, or if you are given the sum and product of the zeros in a question, you will be asked to frame a quadratic polynomial. At that time, what will you do, children? What will you do? If you are knowing the standard form of a quadratic polynomial, you will be easily able to apply all those sum and product in that formulae, and you will be easily able to find out the quadratic polynomial. You see an example? Find a quadratic polynomial whose sum of zeros is minus 1 by 4 and product of zeros is 1. So, the standard form of a quadratic polynomial, if alpha and beta are the zeros, are x square minus alpha plus beta into x plus alpha beta. So, when you substitute the values of alpha plus beta and alpha beta which is given in the question, you can easily find out, and by eradicating the denominator or by multiplying throughout with that denominator number, your quadratic polynomial will become a standard form, that is ax square plus bx plus c. Similarly, in case of cubic polynomial also, we have a standard form. If alpha, beta, gamma are the zeros, the standard form is x cubed minus alpha plus beta plus gamma into x square plus alpha beta plus beta gamma plus alpha gamma into x minus alpha beta gamma. So, the first term is x cube, second term is x square, third term is x, and the fourth term is a constant term. So, if you are given the sum of the zeros, the product of sum of product of zeros taken 2 at a time, and the product of zeros, if it is given for you, you will be easily able to apply that in this formula, and you can easily frame a quadratic as well as a cubic polynomial. So, in today's module, we have learnt what a polynomial is, how the polynomial, the word has derived from, what is the standard form of a polynomial, the degree of a polynomial, classification of polynomials based on number of terms and based on degree, geometrical meaning of zeros of a polynomial, standard form when alpha and beta are the zeros for a quadratic polynomial, standard form when alpha, beta, gamma are zeros for a cubic polynomial, and one more thing which we have learnt is the relationship between zeros and coefficients of all these types of polynomials. So, I think it is clear for you. See you in the next class. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.